Introduction to Management Accounting and Finance. We're going to be looking at what financial accounting is, what financial management is, what management accounting is, and what cost accounting is. Hello. Thank you. Right. So, we're going to look at the different roles of financial accountants, management accountants, and financial managers. So, what you need to look at tonight is what is the difference between what you did in the first semester and what you're going to be doing in the second semester. Why are we doing this lecture tonight? Because I'm trying to set the road. This is the road we're going to go on in the second semester. So how is it different from financial accounting? It's a completely new subject, management accounting. Right, so we need to know about it. We need to know what the differences are between financial accounting, management accounting, and financial management. And we need to understand the basic terminology that we use in cost accounting and management accounting. So a lot of what you do in this semester is cost accounting because you are marketing and retail students. So we're looking at costing for products. So your focus is a lot on cost accounting, which is why we do standard costing and inventory and that sort of thing. Cash budgeting we do because most businesses have to have a cash budget as well. Right. So we need to know what the basic principles of cost classification are. We need to be able to identify cost behaviors. We need to know what a fixed cost is, what a variable cost is. We're going to start with that next week. We need to classify cost items using cost accounting terminology. And we need to know what manufacturing costs are and what non-manufacturing costs are. So it's a lot to cover, right? So what financial management is, which is a dimension of this course, but as I said, the focus is more on management accounting and cost accounting, is an analysis of the financial risks associated with the business. So that's what financial managers do. So financial managers are working at a higher level and analyzing the risks and analyzing the return in relation to those risks. So they are responsible for the investment decisions of the business which generate the future cash flows, and for the financial decisions of the business. Should we use debt or should we use equity? Should we create new shares? Hello. Or should we take a number? Or should we borrow more money? What should we do? Okay? So that's what the financial management are looking at. And your last unit, Unit 9, Capital Investment Decisions, looks at the financial management, and Unit 8, Working Capital Management to a lesser extent as well. Alright, so cost accounting, which is the focus of this course, looks at collecting and recording information relating to the costs of inventory. Okay, so if you're marketing, what are you marketing? You're marketing an item normally, okay, a brand or something like that, which relates to inventory. So that's why the focus is on inventory and on costing of the inventory. So the aim of cost accounting is to track the cost of production and the fixed costs of the company. Unless you know what an item costs, how are you going to decide what price you can market it at and what market is the right market in which to market the item in? So that's why the emphasis is on that, okay? So management uses information to control the costs in order to maximize profits. That's the aim of a for-profit business, is the maximization of profits for shareholders in the long term, not necessarily in the short term, okay? And we learned that in the first semester. So management accounting has to do with preparing of reports in which you can monitor that information. So we use management accounting for the strategies, budgeting, forecasting. So cost accounting is done at the basic level. It feeds into management accounting, which feeds into financial management. That's how the different levels relate to each other. Right. So cost accounting is quantitative, whereas management accounting is both quantitative and qualitative. We're not only looking at quantitative information, we're looking at qualitative information too. Who are the clients? What is the best market to have these goods in? Should we be expanding into neighboring countries? Should we pull our product from Mozambique because it's a product for cold weather, it's a down duvet, you know, that sort of thing. Okay, so cost accounting is about reducing expenditure and eliminating unnecessary costs, and controlling the costs as tightly as possible. In order to control the costs, you have to know, is it a fixed cost, is it a variable cost, what is the standard cost of the item? Right, so cost accounting is incorporated into the planning and management accounting. So the difference between financial accounting and financial management is financial accounting is what we did in the first semester, all right? The reports for financial accounting are standardized reports. When I said to you, this is a statement of profit or loss, that's what it looked like with very little variation and changes, not so. You had to learn the format. With financial management and management accounting, the reports are more flexible. You will be told to produce a report that looks like that so that the marketing people can have a look at that report. So there'll be a specific report that's been developed for this marketing group and another report that's been developed for that marketing group. So the reports are for internal use in the management of the business, and those reports can be generated in any format. Okay, the manufacturing cost statement we do in a specific format, but even that can have a different format. But for the purposes of this course, we have a standard format that we use for the manufacturing cost statement. But otherwise, the reports can be in any combination. Right, so financial management looks at funding the business, the way the business is funded and invested. Right, so financial accounting, we know it's the process of recording financial information and reporting that information to users. Most of the users of financial accounting information are external. Who are they? They're creditors, they're lenders, they're banks, remember? And perhaps shareholders, people who've invested their money in the business want to know the financial accounting information. The management accounting reports are reports generated for the managers in the business in order to look and see how they can maximize their profit or minimize their costs for a particular product or a particular area. Right. So we've looked at that already, okay, what financial accounting is. And management accounting or managerial accounting is reporting information to internal users, basically the entity's management. Management information assists them in decision making and in performance evaluation. It's a way of working out, is this section of the business performing well? What are these managers doing their job? Let's pull a management report and see if they're doing their job. Okay, so it involves a comparative analysis between different branches and different divisions, maybe different areas, geographical areas, maybe different products. Should we be producing more of product A or more of product Z? Which one is selling better? Which one has the greatest profit? Right, so management information. Management require information about the relative product profitability, which product is more profitable, which market is better for us to expand into, what is the potential of this product given that we've got the fourth industrial revolution coming up? Is this a better product to be looking at in the future? And how can we actually maybe tweak this product to increase our profitability by using artificial intelligence or something like that in the production of it? Those sorts of questions, okay? So we do a lot of comparative performance evaluation. Can we perhaps use another supplier to supply us with the raw materials for this product? Or can we buy a supplier so that our supplier becomes an in-house supplier of the raw materials, and will that be cheaper for us and better for our shareholders? Will we have a better return on our investment? So we have to look at different marketing strategies, and that's what you guys will be doing if you're working for big companies and not going out and being entrepreneurs. You'll be looking at different marketing strategies and what you need to do in order to maximize the profit for the business. And if you do maximize the profit for the business, it'll be reflected in your bonus at the end of the year. Unlike me, if I maximize the throughput rate of my students, it doesn't affect them. Anyway, and we need to look at the business risk, but it affects my heart. I feel really proud. That's what matters. Okay, so we need to look at the operating activities of different divisions. Okay, so now I decided to blank this one out for you because I decided you have to do some talking to each other because you haven't seen each other for ages. We did financial accounting in the first semester, so you should be able to tell me who the users are, what report formats they are, what types of reports, what is the detail in the report, how often do the reports come out, what is the focus, the orientation, what is the focus of financial accounting versus management accounting, what kind of information is produced in financial accounting reports. So just use a pencil, don't use a pen, or actually just discuss it with the person next to you and see if you can fill in at least the left-hand side, and then once you filled in the left-hand side, see if you then can work out from what we've already covered if you can fill in the right-hand side. Users of financial accounting are external, shareholders, banks, lenders, creditors. The users of management accounts are internal. The report format for financial accounting are the standard annual financial statement, statement of profit and loss, statement of financial position. And for management accounting, it depends on what they want. What does the management want? You must produce the report that management wants, okay? The financial accounting is a general purpose report. It gives you a big overview of the whole company, right? Whereas management accounting can zoom in as much detail as they like in any specific area of the business or across different sections of the business. So it's specific. These slides are on ULink. And the details, so this is a broad overview of the performance of the entity as a whole, and this one is detailed and is focused at a specific area. Frequency, annual reports by law have to be prepared every year. Management reports can be prepared whenever management needs information, and there isn't a single compulsory by law management report. Okay, the law does not prescribe any form of management report. It prescribes financial accounting reports, and it's these financial accounting reports that are audited by the external auditors. There's no auditing of management accounting reports. It's prepared for information. Probably a lot more honest. Must keep remembering not to say things that mustn't go on the website.
Just creates work for me.
He has to cut it out every time. Every time I mention anyone political or whatever, he's got to cut it out. Okay, so with the financial accounting, it's historical, it's looking backwards, isn't it? It's preparing the reports for the year up to this year. It's not looking forward at all. Whereas the management accounting reports, the budgets and things we're going to be doing, the manufacturing cost statements even, are looking forward. If we do this, if we use these costs and this, what will our costs be? What can we sell the product at in the future? So financial accounting is looking at your performance in the past and using the past performance as a measure to predict future performance. But management accounting is saying, okay, if we change this, and what if we implement that, and what if we look at doing that, what will the impact of that be going forward? Okay, so this is looking at historical information, and this is using modeling and other tools to predict future performance. Okay, so financial accounting is only quantitative. That's not actually true now because you have integrated reporting, which does a lot of reporting on other aspects, sustainability, triple bottom line, environmental impact, HR factors, and sustainability, okay? But your management accounting looks at much broader areas. And also will use some of the information in your sustainability report, in your corporate governance report. Okay, so we're going to now look at another little comparison. This is just looking at management accounting versus financial accounting, general, specific, broad overview, detailed, regulated by law, unregulated, must be prepared annually, prepared as often as needed, historical information, using past performance to predict future, and using modeling to predict future performance, and focuses on financial information that is objective and verifiable. And here we're looking at financial and non-financial information that cannot necessarily be verified. So this is verifiable, it's audited to confirm that it's actually valid, accurate, and complete. So you need to be able to look at the difference between these. The cost accounting we've already looked at. It's part of management accounting, and the information in cost accounting produced by the cost accountants are then in turn used by the management accountants. So the cost accountants are trying to reduce costs as much as possible in order to help maximize the profit for the business, and then the management accountants are looking at the bigger questions, strategy, goals, policies, and things in order to maximize long-term sustainable profit for the business. So if we look at the difference between management accounting and cost accounting, we see that cost accounting has to do with analysis of cost data and recording of cost data, whereas management accounting looks at information that the management of the company can use. So all the time you will see that this is part of this. This is quantitative. This quantitative information feeds in here, and then use qualitative information as well, and other quantitative information. Okay, so the objective of cost accounting is to look at the costs involved in producing a specific product. And I've said that's why the emphasis of this course is a lot on cost accounting, because that comes into marketing and retail. Okay, so management accounting wants to provide information to managers to help them to set goals and to assist them with their strategic planning and future activities. Right? Cost accounting is limited to cost data. Management accounting is much broader, like tax, budgeting, planning, forecasting, analysis, all those things. Okay? And then financial management is once again looking at it from a far higher strategic point of view and looking at debt versus equity and how best to keep the business running and sustainable. Right, so these are various factors that we need to take into consideration when we're looking at businesses today. So this will be financial management questions that financial managers will have to be looking at, okay? We know about the rapid changes in technology and the new fourth industrial revolution. There was an article in the Sunday Times this Sunday by Professor Chiliti Mawala, who's the Vice Chancellor, on the fourth industrial revolution. So it's worth looking at. I think I'm right with Chiliti Mawala. And we've got the increased sophistication of customers. Also the fact that that a domestic market isn't necessarily a domestic market anymore. Where does this jersey come from? The UK. Where does Ingrid buy her jerseys? She buys them online in the UK. Because it's much cheaper than buying them here in South Africa. Can you believe it? You know? And you're getting a good quality item. So you're not restricted by borders anymore. You can actually buy an item wherever you want to buy it, and 9 times out of 10 it will be delivered to your door in South Africa, in Johannesburg. So yeah, deregulation of domestic markets, there it is, okay. The global economy, so we are also in turn able to produce products that we can actually market in different parts of the world as well, right? So that's an advantage. So all of these things have to be taken into consideration when planning marketing at a financial management level. Owners for competitive returns, so it's always pressure there, and the volatility of financial markets. We know about that from the first semester of the 2008 stock market crash. Right, so this is what we're going to be covering in this semester. We're going to be looking at how accounting reports should be read and interpreted, okay, management accounting reports, how financial plans need to be made, how investment decisions need to be made, and how businesses are financed. So that's going to be more towards the end of the semester. Then I'm just quickly going to do a little bit about risk and return, because this is a section that I'm just putting in at the end here, okay? So we know that when you make an investment, there's a risk associated with any investment. Even if you put your money under your mattress, there's a risk associated with it, isn't there? Okay, so you're not going to get any return on that money that you put under your mattress. It's not going to increase in value. In fact, it's going to devalue because inflation is going to reduce the value of that money every year. But probably, if you hide it somewhere, it's going to be the safest place to keep it. You know, in the tea caddy or the little tin at the top. You know, they will show you in those American movies. She leans up and grabs the tin and counts the money. Okay. Whereas if you invest in a JSE top 40 company, okay, you're going to have more risk, but the potential of a lot greater return. If you invest, for example, in a venture capital company or organization or entity or person, okay, or if your classmate is starting up a new business, an entrepreneur and needs to have investors, okay, then your risk is even greater, but your potential return is greater. But also your potential loss is greater. So it's really a case of understanding the connectedness between risk and return. You know, possibly the safest investment is to put your money in a bank and to be told you're going to get a fixed 10% return per annum. Positive correlation, some investments are riskier than others. The higher the return you want, the higher the risks you're going to take. And also don't forget that there are ethical decisions involved in your investment decisions as well. You know, are you going to invest in companies that are trading with other countries that perhaps have less than completely ethical human rights practices? So remember that when you're making decisions in relation to investment and risk and return, that there's always an ethical dimension to it. And more and more today, people are actually taking into account the ethical decisions. You know, when I was your age, I would probably have been happy to just invest any money I had, not that I did have any, but if I had had any money, I would have been happy to invest in the JSE top 40 companies. Today, no, I won't necessarily just invest in the JSE top 40 companies. I want to know how they're treating their labor. I want to know where their manufacturing plants think about. So that's the relation between risk and return. I think it's, my feeling would be it would be more like that actually. I think this is a highly simplified portrayal of risk and return. Right, so we know that this week we're going to do the introduction. Next week we're going to do Unit 1. We've got 9 units in total. Your ULI quiz 1 is on the introduction, not on Unit 1. You've got the questions, I think, are loaded already. I'm going to open it tomorrow, although it says today. I haven't opened it yet. I'll open it tomorrow. I'll close it next Tuesday. And it might be a good idea to read through Chapter 1, but I think with the handout you've got and the tutorial questions, that will be enough.